said, I don't think I love you no more. You never seem to call me lately. Girl, I don't think you know me at all.
What's going on, guys? This is Doubtful, and I'm here to show you my Geforce Now settings. So when you open up Geforce Now, it'll show you to this page to play all your games, Among Us, whatever you want to play. I do have founders membership, but yeah. What you want to do is you want to go click this little 3 tabs over here and click settings, and you can see what settings you are currently playing on. So first of all, you want to go to your server location and make sure this is turned on auto, because then it'll get you to the closest server near you. You can also test your network. I'm actually gonna do that real quick so that you guys can see my Wi-Fi. I'm gonna blur this out. So yeah, but once this finishes, it should show you how what is going to be your latency and all that stuff. So yeah, so I'll just speed this up for you guys. Alright, so now that it's done, you guys can see that my latency is 27 milliseconds, which is actually pretty low right now because no one's usually using my stuff. My packet loss is 0.2%, and my bandwidth is right below 50 megabytes per second, or sorry, greater than 50 megabytes per second. I have all the recommended settings because my internet is pretty good. It'll actually be much better if you guys have Ethernet, but I'm actually not connected to Ethernet. I'm using Wi-Fi right now. So this proves that you don't need that insane of internet to get good settings. I just live relatively close to a server. So most of you guys are going to be using custom on these settings. Maybe you guys will play on auto. So I'm here to tell you that you don't actually need to play on 1920 by 1080. That might be your monitor's resolution, but although it might be kind of harder to see things like far away, it might be like little dots and stuff, but you will get much better FPS and latency. Like your latency will be cut down by a lot. Like it's a noticeable change, and you won't be having like lag spikes or the screen go all blurry because of this adjuster for network conditions. So these are the settings, but if it's much easier to just go over here and hit competitive because it has all those settings turned on for you. And then I like to have my Discord rich presence and my network status off because then I'm pretty sure it has something to do with like it has less things to do, so you get a few better FPS. But you guys can have this on if you want to. So yeah, that's kind of all the settings that I really want to go over That's really all the settings that can go over right now. So I'm going to show you guys some of my gameplay. It might be laggy, so I'm probably going to switch over to the actual Geforce Now recording, so my mic might sound a lot worse in game. So I'll see you guys in there. Alright guys, I finally got in, so I'm going to be showing you guys my actual in-game settings from pretty much. I haven't changed my settings in so long. So yeah, I'm going to be going through them all individually and explaining why I use them. So brightness 100%, I never change these because there's not really any point to. Colorblind mode, I know some people use colorblind modes, but I don't really like them because it makes montages look bad, and that's kind of the only reason. I used to use them, but then I stopped. For my quality presets, this is what it gave me. Medium off, high, medium, low, low. You don't want to use these, so just it'll be on custom, like right on this tab, so then just hit right, so go to low, and then just crank your 3D res, and then turn off your motion blur. Sometimes I like to turn on my motion blur and put my post-processing to high, just for clips so they look nice, because my PC cannot handle putting a motion blur on my thing and try to render it. It would crash and destroy itself. Don't worry, I've tried. And then for DirectX version, I use DirectX 12 only because that was the recommended one. It just put default, so I'm like, whatever. Allow multi-threaded rendering. You guys probably should turn this on, but I didn't really see any difference, so I just left it off because this was default. And then I like to have my NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency to on plus boost. This is actually very good. I've seen like a pretty good difference in latency, but that could also just be me thinking that there is a difference. And now we're going to go to my game settings. So, and also sorry about the lag. I'm actually recording this through OBS instead of the actual Geforce Now software. So it's going to look a little worse and be bad because it wasn't working and you couldn't hear my mic for some reason. So I'm just going to do it from here. So I play NA East. Just put this on auto. Doesn't matter. Put your language. And then toggle sprint I have off. Sprint by default on. These are kind of all default besides auto open doors I have on, because then you don't have to hit your E key every time you have to open a door. You can just run through it. Hold to swap pickup. I like to have this so I don't have to drop the gun and then pick it up. I could just hold it, which, yeah, I don't know. That's just preference. The rest is default. Mark danger while untargeting. This is just a mark danger. You just have to double tap it. Auto sort consumables to right. This is actually very, very helpful. So you don't have to actually sort everything. So if you pick up, say, a big shield, it'll go to the right slot instead of going to your first slot if you have nothing in your hand, which is very handy so you don't have to go through that. Reset building choice on, off, turbo building on, and then confirm edit on release. I do use this. This is preference, but I'm telling you now, if you get used to this, it'll only take maybe a week or so, but it is so awesome. Like this is probably like tripled my editing speed just in a couple months. So yeah, everything else is kind of default, and then for replays, I have them all on just so I can get cinematics. Now we're going to go into my HUD options, which I have my HUD scale on 70, the default is 90% I think. I have everything on besides elimination feed, latency debug stats, net debug stats, and creative runtime performance stats. You guys can have elimination feed on or any of these on. I just don't like them because elimination feed doesn't matter that much unless you're a stream sniper, which is, you don't be a stream sniper, that's a dick move. But yeah, I don't like it on because it kind of takes up your left corner of the screen, the bottom left corner. Now we're going to go to my mouse and keyboard sensitivities. So on my mouse sensitivity, I use 7.5% X and Y, and I play on 800 DPI. For my targeting sensitivity and scope sensitivity, I play on 50%. I don't know, it's easier for me to flick with snipers and stuff when I have to like get cool shots. And then everything else is default, and then I don't have a controller, so you can skip that. And then music, just these 0%. I don't really like music. Sound effects 50%, dialogue 10% for cool cinematics, and 20% cinematics. And I show my voice chat cranked so I can hear people. Sound quality high, 3D headphones on, background audio off. This is all default. I don't use visualized sound effects. I used them like for a little bit, just because I was like really tired and I didn't want to hear everything. I don't know, but you definitely shouldn't have this on. Because if you guys didn't know, if you have visualized sound effects on, it will automatically disable your 3D headphones. So it says cannot be used with visualized sound effects. And what this does is, if you have 3D headphones on, you're going to be able to hear which direction your opponent is. So if you have this off, so you have your 3D headphones, sorry about that. So you have your 3D headphones, so, or your visualized sound effects. So it just shows you like there's a little circle, and then it shows you the thing. Here, I'll put a video on screen for you guys. But pretty much, it's very hard to tell if your opponent is below or above you, because it gets very confusing as they're running around and you're running around and the thing just goes in circles. So I don't really like to use that. So yeah, rest is all on default. So yeah, so finally I'm going to be going through my keybinds, which are very unoptimal, and you should probably never use any of my keybinds ever because they suck and I haven't changed them, and I probably should, but I'm lazy to learn. So yeah, everything's default. And then we get down to my use key is E. I use scroll wheel up to get first pickup sometimes. Harvesting tool, which is my pickaxe, I use 1. Caps lock for my first weapon slot, which I use for my AR. B for my shotgun. X for my SMG or sniper, sometimes when I have that on the 3rd slot. And then 2 and 3 are usually for consumables, but I also sometimes use my 4th slot for a sniper, which I usually don't anymore. So my wall, I use Q for my wall, C for my floor, F for my stairs, and V for my pyramid, which are very unoptimal. I literally click them all with keys that make me move, which you should not do, because then you can't move right when you're building stairs or something and things like that. Everything else is pretty much normal. I use scroll wheel reset, and then I use Y for pinging, which is just because I have long fingers. I use Z for emote, and then yeah, and then everything else is just vehicles, which you shouldn't really bother about. So yeah, you've reached the end of the video. So if you guys liked, make sure to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. I'm going to be trying to do more videos like this, and I'm also going to be trying to do montages weekly. So look out for that, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.